Hi, there was a card in um, the Trends card magazine this month that I really liked, and I thought I'd give it a try. And in order to make this card, you will need a piece of cardstock that is 3.5 inches by 7 inches. You are going to need some Versamark or Watermark stamp pad. You're going to need a fern stamp, and you're going to need some paper flowers, and I use a Serenade Cricut cartridge. And the first flower I cut out at 2.25 inches. The second flower I cut out at 2 inches, and then I also cut out the center, which is this shifted image. You're also going to need a little button that matches with the center of the flower. You're going to need some embroidery floss. You're going to need a sponge dauber and some ink that matches the center of your flower. And in this case, I am using the Stampin' Up stamping spot, which is Pink Passion. You're also going to need a paper piercer. You're going to need some Distress Crackle paint, and I am using Picket Fence. And you are going to need this big blue pad I am using because I don't have a paper piercer pad, so I purchased the Children's Foam Craft that's thick. It's probably like 1/2 inch thick, and I'm going to be using that for my paper piercing. And you're also going to need some matching gems, and that should be it. Okay, after you have scored your card at 3.5 inches, you can go ahead and stamp your fern image towards the bottom of your card. I use the fern stamp going in both directions, and that's what that looks like. You're going to want to work on your flowers next. The first thing you're going to want to do is ink the edges of the flowers. Okay, so I painted both of my light pink flowers with the Distress Crackle paint, the Picket Fence color, and I decided that they needed a little bit of antiquing, so I got out another sponge dauber and I used the distressed ink called Antique Linen. It's very subtle. It's kind of hard to see in my camera, but that's how it looks when it's done. I think I'm going to also add some glitter, so we'll see what that looks like in a minute. Hi, I went ahead and drew with a pencil a little bit on my card so you could see where I'm going to use my paper piercer so that I can put the embroidery floss on. And now that I've poked my holes, I'm going to go ahead and erase the pencil marks. Okay, so I just finished with my stitching. All I did was a back stitch. I would put the needle in from behind and go down to the next hole, and then I would skip a hole and I would come back up that hole, and I would come back to the left and go back down, and then I would bring it back from underneath again, and I would go to the next hole underneath and come back up the hole that's to the right and come back down to the left, and I did that all the way across. I just applied some glitter to my flowers, and I think I really like these better painted with this extreme glitter that I just picked up from Michael's. It's by Folk Art, and it's really kind of hard to see because of the glare, but there we go. It's really good. It's actually better than the Stickles. And I went ahead and I just used this little sponge stick that's you use with chalk, and it because this is acrylic, it washes right off and you can use it again. So I'm really liking the way this looks. Okay, I just stitched my flower down right through my card, and I've added a few rhinestones or stones to the card. And I think this card calls for the inside to be lined due to the stitching on the outside. So I'm going to be covering the inside of the card as well. This is what the finished card looks like. And I went ahead and stamped a little message on there that says thinking of you. And I did go ahead and line the inside of the card.